it's Nina from VR Focus. I am joined here by
Thomas Gere, CEO of the Reality Center.
So tell me a little bit about who you guys are, what you guys do, and obviously we've got a banner here in the background. You guys are doing VR, AR, but what makes you guys different and special?
Sure, so we're an incubator space dedicated to AR and VR in London.
From what I understand, you guys have two centers. You've got one here, which is where we are right now. We are in East London by Moorgate, and you have another one that's in West London in White City, where BBC used to be. So what do you guys do? What's the differences between the two different centers?
So here we're focusing on the training and remote collaboration for corporates. And the other space, we're looking at the content creators for the media and creative industries. So we think there's a really rich ecosystem in London. So we had to get a separate location for that to really help the industry. So we got lots of events planned, such as the winners of Rain Dance and experiential marketing, artists in residence. A lot of things are going to happen, and that's going to follow up really on all the events that we've done in the past and the hackathons.
So you guys do hackathons, you guys host events, you guys also help out with incubation, and you work with B2B businesses. So how did you guys start up? How did you get into virtual reality?
Yeah, so basically we saw a lot of hype events, 2 years ago and last year, very general, and we thought it would be great to have a space that's really focusing on what's working and what's needed. And we did 18 events really focusing on particular verticals, so medical, retail, artificial intelligence, and so on. And every time we were linking them to a hackathon, so we can actually create applications and see where there is traction. So it's really helped us to build a really big community. So now we got around 150 developers, 25 corporates, 30 plus mentors. So we're going to actually use that as well for our acceleration program that we start later this year.
So what is the acceleration program and who can join? What is it all about?
Yeah, so basically we call it the Vision program, and it's looking at the technologies that can improve the AR and VR experiences. So for example, in terms of augmented and mixed reality, everybody's dreaming of those very lightweight, glasses, and at the moment we're far from those still. And you need a lot of improvements and innovation in artificial intelligence, machine learning, and computer vision. And there's a lot of innovators in the UK that are working on that. Most of their IP is going into medical tech, fintech, and industrial users. Not so much into AR and VR yet, and we want to help to activate that. So we're going to work with corporate venture funds and partners, so to actually link corporates and startups together so they can incubate ideas and they can spin off new technologies. So I think it's very exciting, and we're going to start later this year and in Q1. And we've also created an academy. So we're giving courses to introduce AR and VR to corporates and anyone that is interested, and also giving lessons to actually know how to make VR applications. And we're starting HoloLens courses, so the mixed reality device that Microsoft has launched, and we're really excited by that. Yeah.
Fantastic. And at Develop VR, what are you talking about?
So we're going to be covering the investment spectrum and looking at what's happening at the moment, from content investment, so from Creative England and the Creative XR program as well, from the Catapult, to actually what we think VCs are interested in, which is mostly technology. And but there are also some big content investors in the UK that people might not be aware of, and that's very exciting. And also the challenge for producers of trying to actually get one source of funding instead of the traditional way of going in every country in Europe to be able to fund your project, which is really a waste of time and money when most of your talent is in creation and production. So if we can help that would be great.
Is this specifically for like 360 films, or is this true VR, or is this AR, is this MR? There's so many different applications. Are there different funds for each of these, or are there sort of companies trying to find specific technologies for them? Yeah,
I mean, there is a big focus on 360 video for the content, that's for sure, and related to experiential marketing. So here, for example, in the building Blend Media, they've been working with brands and content creators, on enabling, projects. And that's a way to actually directly, fund and make projects happen. And then you have VCs, you know, like Station 12 and others, that are actually really helping big projects happen, you know, in VR. Not only 360, but CGI and AR, whatever, you know, the medium that is being used, and cross-platform. And then obviously, you know, angel groups so far not so interested in AR and VR, but they will do it through their fund, you know, and that's starting to happen. And otherwise, there's a lot of investors that come from the US. You know, just be honest about it. You know, the very early stage investments, most of them come from, you know, companies like Boost VC, and then later on the, you know, the VR fund. And but they're starting to get traction here as well. And I think it's just they're taking longer here, but it's happening now more and more.
From what I understand, talking to lots of creators and developers out there, the biggest problem when it comes to VR, AR, MR is money.
Yeah.
Is funding. Where is the money? And so you're saying that a lot of sort of the pre-seed money is coming from America.
Yeah.
And obviously they've got Silicon Valley, they've got all of the tech. How come there isn't as much investment here in London? Is there perhaps more in Europe compared to what's here available in the UK?
Yeah, I think first of all because it's a disruptive new medium. So, you know, traditional sources of investment didn't really understand it, or were not taking the risks, you know. So you had the usual channels, you know, through the European Union organizations and government organizations. Also on the continent, in France, for example, you know, where I'm from, you know, it's actually a lot easier to get, you know, public funding, you know, for projects which are creative. It's just the way it's structured, you know. So that's why it's great here to see, you know, the Catapult and the Arts Council that have been, you know, offering this Creative XR program where they give 20,000, you know, per project, and I think they're supporting quite a lot of them. So that's going to help to kick off, you know, a prototype, I think, only for a simple prototype. So then you can fundraise for the big money, you know, to make it happen. Yeah.
And so, how many? So there's a sort of small seed investments that help start off kick prototypes, and then is there sort of a middle ground and a higher ground for investment for projects such as?
Yeah, I think then it's much easier. You know, once you've got your prototype, then you can showcase it. You can actually, you know, go and pitch it, you know, to bigger, you know, investors, and you get more chances, you know, to get through. Yeah.
Well, from the companies and the developers that you've seen here trying to get access to funding. How much are we talking about? Are we talking about millions? Or are we talking about a few thousands? What is a realistic sort of number that developers and companies could go to look for funding?
I think between 100 and 200,000, I would say, when they are starting, you know. And then when they want more than 300K for a bigger project, they'll have to go, you know, across the Atlantic, and they'll have to, you know, just have different follow-on investors, and then that can happen. But if they are in technology, there's a few early stage, you know, VCs that would follow them. It depends what they're working on. It's all content versus technology, or both sometimes. Then you get more chance, you know. Yeah.
Do you have a relationship with perhaps some investors in America that you can help sort of correlate, like across the pond, bring across technologies from two different continents? Yeah,
I think that's what we've been doing for a while. We've been just sharing, you know, pitch decks and having discussions for every company that we were helping to fundraise. Even with China, we've been doing it because here, you know, this building is owned by a Chinese VC, and we have a partnership with them, and so we've been also using that. They've been doing a lot of investments over there for a long time, especially media companies. So, and there's a lot of distribution potential as well over there, so we're building up on this.
With regards to developers out there looking to find money and figure out what to do, what are the investors most interested in investing in? Is it healthcare? Is it automation? Is it education? Is it original content? What are they looking for? So,
I mean, at the moment, it depends on the industry that you're in, but on the B2B side, they're really looking into everything that is with training and education. So that's obviously cross industry. It can be medical, it can be engineering, it can be you know, healthcare, and then you also have the longer term, you know, which is more retail. So mixed reality. So how are you going to make the experience of the future, the user experience better? So lighter glasses. So that's hardware technologies, recognition, you know, middleware. compression, in the cloud, how you're going to make things work better together. So it's more on the longer term, but there's already a lot of attention from investors. And then if you are in content, obviously where we see the most demand, from investors, and you can see the studios like Felix and Paul are reacting to this already, is seriable content, so series, so you can build actually interest in loyalty. People are coming back to it, so you're going to produce something that has 5, 10 or 15 episodes, and they also have a level of interactivity inside, so you make it richer in terms of the experience, and people keep coming back to it, and that's really what's driving the investment at the moment.
Next year, what is it going to look like?
Yeah, I think first of all they're going to look for cross-platform development. So that's where I guess the Microsoft, platform has an advantage. You're into Visual Basic and then your Unity development, and then you can push that to, if you are B2B, HoloLens and the MR headsets or the MR VR headsets, or you can actually just do, if you're doing more, entertainment content, you can still go and push it, to the MR from Windows, but it's becoming multi-platform. So you can put them on Steam, and then they will be compatible, with PSVR, the Vive, and obviously on Google is going to release a standalone as well in collaboration with HTC. We got now the Oculus Go coming out, and I think there will be, development tools to make those multi-platform. So I think it's very exciting for developers, and Steam, fortunately, is still everywhere for this, so that's really good.
So is there a website that we can go to
Sure.
to find out what you are doing?
Yeah, so we're on the realities-center.com, and we're quite active as well on Twitter, so it's just Realities Center, and then you can follow us, and you can come and visit us as well. So we are in Moorgate in the city, or we are at MediaWorks in White City in Huckletree West, and that's really cool. And we're looking forward to actually meet more people and do more events.
So if there's any developers out there who are looking to sign up and do the workshops and the training, is that all on the website as well?
Yeah, it's all on the website, and it's quite clear. Contact us as well if you want to run your own workshops and courses, and we'll be happy to discuss that. Yeah.
Well, fantastic.
That's cool.
Thank you,
Nina.
very much.
Thanks. Yeah.
Head over to vrfocus.com if you want to find out more about what the Reality Center are doing and what is happening in virtual reality, and I will see you there.